let's get to it.
What we're going to be planting today is I got new papaya seeds, which is exciting. I've already seen them grow, I've already seen them sprout, so I'm excited about this, to be replanting them and taking care of them. And while my girlfriend was here on the island, we were going to this mountain called Spirit Mountain, and we were going on a trip, and we were hiking on the mountain through the jungle, and all of a sudden we found a tree with wild oranges on there. So I immediately, seeing a tree, started climbing that and started I grabbed 2 oranges, and I got the seeds of those oranges right here. I kept them wet and kept them in the fridge so that they would stay good. And I'm going to be planting those, so I'll be creating an orange tree. Then also we got some pumpkin seeds from the farm of Karin. So we got pumpkin over here. Then what we got is we got cashews, which we're going to be growing. And those cashews are from Benjamin's farm. And another thing that's from Benjamin's farm is moringa seeds. Beautiful tree with delicious leaves, perfect for any types of salad. So that's what we'll be growing here.
This is really the first time I'm working with soil like this. I know this is a little bit of a different type of soil than this one, but by now I think you know that I have no clue what the difference is, so I won't try to explain it to you. I'm just gonna use it and see what it does. One of the things that I've also done previously, what I kind of want to avoid doing right now, is just randomly throwing those seeds on there and just see what it does. What I now kind of want to do is just give the seeds some space. Instead of having them all bundled up, giving them some space to breathe. So I'm gonna just make a little hole in here, put a couple of seeds in there, and sprinkle it with love. A little bit of love for my seeds. Now I've seen Benjamin do this, and when he does this, he puts a couple of seeds in a spot. Probably because not all seeds will make it. So that's what I'm doing right now as well. So I put papaya over here, and then I'm going to put it to the side. I just want to try out a lot of different things and see what it does. Once I'm at my land and I have a lot of land that I can sprout seeds on, then I'll be pouring all this papaya everywhere. But for now, I think this should be sufficient. I know that there are mats where they are for germination. So they're basically rubber mats that are as big as this, and then they have all kinds of, like, they're deeper and there are holes, and you can fill those with soil. It's very easy to have on a small area have a lot of seeds that are germinating. I just didn't find them at the store, and that's one of the things that I find here on the island. I find it very hard to find the right supplies in order to do all this stuff, and that's also part of this learning phase, this part of this learning experience, to be knowing where to find all the stuff. Now I'm already happy that I found these pots, because that means that I don't have to use all that plastic anymore in order to do this work, and I can actually do it in a little bit of a more structural way, if you will. Alright, so those are some papaya seeds. Let me do some I gotta be very careful with what I'm saying here, because I'm not sure what seeds these are. Check this out. And I'm pretty sure they're from, what was it called? Like a star apple. They're delicious. And we got them on our way to the land. So here's the thing, like, I'm going about my life, I'm going about my day, and then I eat a fruit and it's delicious, and so I just keep the seed, but then it's exotic fruit, so I have no clue what it's called. And when I ask them, they give me a Dominican name, and I forget that Dominican name. So Yeah, I think this is star apple. Not 100% sure. But yeah, we'll see once it starts sprouting. This Benjamin could tell me what this is, so I made a picture of this, and he'll let me know, and then I can write it on here. So first of all, this is an S for star apple.
These are the orange seeds. So I'm gonna put them in these pots, give them some space. Orange. Now I know I got a lot of pumpkin seeds, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of a bigger pot for the pumpkin seeds. I'm gonna fill that up with some soil. I find this very satisfying to do. I mean, if you like your hands to be in dirt, which I do anyway, this is just very satisfying to me. Which makes me wonder why I never did this before. Why didn't I do this? It's so much fun. I'm giving life. I'm giving life. Right. Now I noticed there are some that are already dried out, so I'm not gonna use those. I'm gonna use the ones that are moist still. And I feel like it's all bundled up, so I feel like that's the way to go. I'm gonna put those in there. So what I notice about this soil is that it's super, how do you say that? It's not tied together. It's very loose. That's it. That's it. It's very, very loose. It just falls apart, which is a big difference from the clay that I found on my land. When I used that in order to plant these seeds, it was very dense, and so I mean I can understand how this makes way more sense to be using, because there's more space to grow. There's less ground that you need to push, that the roots need to be pushing away, and I believe like the water can flow more freely through these. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. I actually did not do any research on that. I am, however, going to be doing some research on what healthy soil is, and how you can create your own healthy soil, because I believe that's very important for when I'm growing on my own land, because you can live in a way that you're constantly producing this very, very fertile soil through your compost and and other things that I don't necessarily know about. But I know Benjamin knows, and he can teach me. But before I ask him a lot of questions, I'm just going to do my own research myself. And yeah. So these moringa seeds now have their space. Here you have these holes, which are very important, and below here there's another hole as well. So what I learned is that you can't just randomly use all kinds of different pots. They need to be able to release the water that you're putting in, otherwise the water just sits there, and that's not good for the soil, people. So that's like, I mean, it sounds like such a basic thing, but people like I would not know that. So it's good to be aware of those little factors of growing plants. The moringa seeds have been planted, which makes it time for the cashews. And speaking of cashews, I actually brought one from Benjamin's farm, and I brought it because many people wouldn't know how cashews are growing. And it's basically from a bush, and this is a yellow one, and this one is super small, and it shrunk because I kept it for a while. But as you see here, this is where the cashew comes from, and in here there's a cashew. This is one cashew, guys. So if you're constantly eating a lot of cashews by kilos, like many people do, then this puts it a little bit more in perspective. This is one cashew, and you have like a plant has to grow all of these things, and normally this fruit is like this big. It's crazy. Like it gets really big. And before I found this one, I thought they only had red fruits, but apparently they have yellow ones as well. And so this, oh, it smells so sweet. And basically the way you eat it is you bite in it, and there's a lot of juice in there, and you suck the juice out, and then eventually you throw this part away. So I'll take this seed and I'll start planting it right now. 1 cashew, drop it in. For some reason, to me, it feels super satisfying to make them in to grow them in a circle, you know? To me, this feels really sad because it's just one in one pot. It feels very lonely, and this one feels like it's gonna grow in community, you know? I don't know if that makes any sense, but probably not. Cashews in unison, cashew in solitude? Yeah, the solitude cashew. And then as the last one, we got an orange, right? Or not an orange, this is a lemon. So I'm gonna cut this one open and then put it right into the ground. Oh, this is crazy. It's starting to rain. I gotta run. All right, so we now planted all the seeds, and it starts to rain, which is perfectly something that Benjamin told me. Benjamin told me that once you start planting seeds, it always starts to rain, which is beautiful. Because then I don't have to give these, well, I'm going to give these pots some water as well, but I'm happy they're going to get some extra hydration from the rain. So you see the pots right behind me. I'm super excited to see what this does, and also I'm stoked that this got a little bit more structure, because I got personally a little bit annoyed that I don't know what is in my pots, and it definitely also does not improve my learning strategy in here. So I'm super excited that this is now a little bit more structured, and to see what this all will do. I'm going to structure these pots a little bit, and then it's all a waiting game. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, that's awesome. Share that with me. I'd love to hear some feedback. Things that you would like to see, just let me know. And things you do not want to see anymore, let me know as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to follow up on that, but you can definitely let me know. And yeah, the growing adventure has started, people. The growing adventure has started. Now let me get this camera out of the rain.